rights are human rights. Trans rights are...
Hey guys, it's Fleckus. This week we're at Kennesaw State where Michael Knowles is giving a speech called Men Are Not Women, and these protesters are not happy about it. Let's talk to them and see what's going on. Men are not women is the speech topic.
Yeah.
You disagree with that?
That's not what it is men cannot be women.
Men are not women is the...
Okay, men are not women.
You think that's true?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to like kids, especially someone 8, 9, 10 years old, they don't really know what's best for themselves. They don't even know what they're really going through and feeling. They're not even familiar with the world. So to start doing something so drastic as that, I think is kind of like a red flag. That's maybe where we disagree.
Yeah. Well, and part of the thing is children are making the decision with the help of endocrinologists, psychologists, licensed social worker, whoever people in there, they have a whole team of people consulting with them. They're not doing it because they want to.
They're not doing it because they want to.
Do you think when it comes to children transitioning, there should be a limit, an age limit when a child is able to receive hormone therapy or transition surgery?
No, I do not. I feel like if they have that medical diagnosis and this is who they are, then that's what needs to happen for them.
Do we agree that kids should be allowed to be kids, and when they get older to a certain age, then they can make life-changing decisions?
I don't agree with anything about that. I don't know. Why do you have to know? Why do you have the authority to make that decision?
Because we're in charge of kids. What brings you out here today?
Protest. There's a fellow coming in called Michael Knowles.
Do you think he should speak here tonight?
No.
What about his free speech and his right to do that?
I don't think hate speech is free speech.
Have you ever watched Michael Knowles' videos?
No.
Are you going to the Michael Knowles thing later? Are you going to go to the speech itself or no? Being nice, you should. I don't think he's going to offend you as bad as you think he is. I think a lot of this is misinformation. You guys think he's a monster of a guy. He's actually really nice. I know him personally. He's actually a friend of mine. All right, 100. Are you protesting Michael Knowles? What makes you want to protest him?
I don't know much about him, but I saw the line, men are not women, and all the tagline about, can you not?
What?
Can you not?
What?
I don't want to be on your show.
Oh, okay, then don't.
Okay.
Yep.
No, come here.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah, no. I saw
So
the
what brings you out here today?
Yeah, I just saw the subtitle about propaganda from the left.
We're not encouraging engagement with
I
these people.
understand.
He's an adult.
Thanks. I can speak for myself because I'm an adult.
Well, tell her that. She was the one trying to cut you off.
I did.
All right, we're here with Scott. You're on the AF team that's hosting Michael Knowles today.
Yeah.
What made you want to bring him to campus?
We just think that the conversation is really necessary to be having on our campus, and I think that, the more disassociation we have, the more people hate each other, and if we can just have that conversation, we can bring each other together,
Exactly. It seems like we're getting so polarized lately, and the media is obviously pushing us further and further apart. We need to be able to have conversations. 100%. I feel like this is the first time in recent history where it's just been so polarized that you can't even talk to the other side.
We're not talking to them.
This is our entire zone 2.
Zone 2. Okay. So
please.
Got it. Thank you. I've been very polite. If everyone's an adult here, no one's underage. If you don't want to talk, don't talk. It's very easy. Very nice. I'm being nice. I'm just trying to do my thing. It's going to be over soon. Maybe if you're going to be mad about it, I would just maybe stand over there and let me do my thing.
You can't interview people. It just can't be.
I'm going up to adults. And saying, do you want to talk on camera? And they say yes. And I say, okay. And I ask them questions. You guys don't speak for other people. I don't get the sign.
Sign doesn't get you, bro.
I think you're being offensive to gay people. I think it is. Why is being gay an insult? That's messed up. I'm the one standing up for you guys. Are we eventually going into this space or no? Because then I'm going to tell you guys you can't be in here. Michael Knowles reserved this. I'm going to give it right back to you. Now you're in the Michael Knowles area. This is the Michael Knowles area. They reserved it. You can't be in here.
There's studies that show that children can form a gender identity as young as 3 or 4. And I'm not an expert, so I can't really debate that. But just from my own point of view, I think it's something that can permanently affect someone's life. So I can see why it might be hard to say, to make those decisions for a child, because they might not be certain they're children.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to judge people who do.
I don't really agree. I think kids don't really know stuff.
You don't think that your decisions as a parent can affect your child's future?
I think they can, and that's why I wouldn't want to give my kid hormone therapy.
Okay, but
that would have majorly affect their future. Kids don't know anything.
Are you a pediatrician? Are you a child psychologist? Are you a teacher? Are you a parent? Are you responsible?
You know kids, you said.
Are you responsible
You
for
know
it?
kids.
Are you responsible for any
I feel
children?
a responsibility.
But you aren't responsible. How many children are actually in your life?
I have a niece. She's very nice.
Right. And how often do you see her?
Whenever I can.
How often do you see her?
Well, she's one. I saw her like 4 times. That's a lot.
Okay, that's a lot. Ooh, once what, a year?
So
4 times in a whole year.
So that means if a kid says, I want to wear a dress and get hormone therapy, that we should just be like, oh, you're...
decide that.
So the kids should decide it then, not adults. So who should decide, kids or adults?
So you think kids that are deaf
Not,
shouldn't get cochlear implants?
not the same.
Some people think it is. Some people think the world of deafness.
I'm sure
is
some people
their
think it
world.
is. You just disavow Antifa?
No, God no.
Antifa. What about the violence they do? They're so bad.
I think that violence is a useful political tool, and if wielded in the proper fashion, collateral damage happens. That's a shame, and people need to be careful what they do.
Will you disavow political violence?
Here's what I think. I don't.
You don't disavow political violence?
I don't think about it. I don't.
Antifa is a label for anybody who's anti-fascist. So
I think it's a slippery slope, though. So if someone was in there and Antifa was in there and they got violent with Michael Knowles, would you disavow that?
Yeah.
Because he's not a fascist. He's not like a hateful person. He's just maybe a little...
He's up there talking. If he's not... He's probably saying some hateful shit. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know much about the man, to be honest.
So why protest him?
What little I do know is pretty hateful, and I'm not...
What do you know?
We've already been over this.
What have you watched of his that you're like, oh, this video is bad. He said this, this, and this. Like, tell me something you've watched and evidence you have. So then how can you be out here?
I saw the poster. That was enough for me.
You saw the poster?
Yeah.
That was enough?
That was enough.
And now you're like okay with like political violence because you saw a poster?
No, I've been okay with political violence before I knew who this guy was.
That's wild, man. You shouldn't say that on camera.
You know, being trans is pretty socially acceptable now. You know, it's, as it should be. But, if you are a straight white guy, you are silenced. You're not allowed to voice your opinion.
It's interesting. Almost like the oppressed gain privilege from their oppression, and it's kind of like the totem pole of oppression now, deciding who gets to speak, whose voice is worth what, and who gets shut down and who doesn't.
Exactly.
You think that's a problem in college campuses?
Very much so. Everybody should have an equal voice.
If any place on earth should not be a place where speech is squelched, it's a college campus. Every idea, including dangerous ideas, should be addressed here, including calling out dangerous ideas such that people can see them for what they are.
Do you see Michael Knowles as a dangerous person?
I see him as inflammatory.
Because I agree with you to a point, but I think it's gotten so out of hand that they're labeling, like I've been at protests, they call Ben Shapiro a Nazi. I've been at places where they just don't really make sense. They call black people a white supremacist. So it's like, you think we've gotten kind of out of hand and college campuses have gone so far left that we're really squelching ideas that aren't that controversial?
Absolutely. I mean, if you start calling everybody Nazis, what are you going to do when the actual Nazis show up?
Exactly. Hey, you're very based.
Thanks.
That's very nice. We agree a lot. That's great. Thank you for talking to me.
Sure.
Glad to find some common ground. The sign says teach acceptance, not ignorance, guys. I'm trying to bridge the gap and talk to people, and you're infringing on me.
People who identify as trans transitioning to another gender are not valid. You're saying they're not really who they say they are. You're saying that it's a mental illness. Like, I don't want that on my campus. I don't like that, so I'm going to come and show my face.
And I respect that, and you should protest things. I just, I would watch a Michael Knowles video or two. I noticed you have a little Republican thing. You kind of have to hide it. Why do you have to hide it?
Because, next thing you know, I'll get a milkshake thrown at me for having specific political views.
We're hitting head the bike lock.
Yeah,
fail class. Who faces more backlash, you think, on college campuses? A trans person or a Trump supporter wearing a MAGA hat?
Trump supporters.
Yes, I will admit there's been some things that were violent towards Trump supporters, though I would also...
A lot.
Like, in general...
I'm from California, a lot.
Yeah, but society...
Like if I was in California and I walked around UCLA and I wore like a dress and a wig and makeup, no one would really give me a hard time. Okay. If you wear a MAGA hat, you're going to have some problems.
You get more for it, but also, you cannot be a Trump supporter. I think being a Trump supporter is being an asshole. You should get some for that.
I do sometimes feel uncomfortable voicing my opinion, especially in this kind of area, because it's the people who are supposed to be representing me, who are supposed to be on my side of everything, want to silence me.
Which is very ironic because what they don't want is to be silenced or be marginalized, but they kind of do it themselves to the people who they think are oppressing them, which doesn't really make much sense.
Exactly.
Ben, watch your stuff. Ben, go yourself.
What's something Ben said that you don't like?
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, no, Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, go yourself. Candace Owens?
Yeah.
Go yourself.
Did you go to the Michael Knowles speech?
I did go to the Michael Knowles speech.
Did he say anything hateful and bigoted?
Nothing that I can really tell, no. I mean, hateful is obviously defined to be anything I don't like now, so... But no, he just said obvious truths, and if you think that's hateful, I'm sorry, not sorry.
What's your closing statement to Michael Knowles? You tell him one thing directly. He'll probably watch this.
Was he on campus earlier today under the tent? Was that him?
I didn't see him.
Oh. Well, I'm pretty sure that was him. If it was or if it wasn't, whoever I was talking to that was for him, I told that person to go himself, and I want to tell him again to go himself.
Do you know what Michael Knowles looks like?
No.
Have you ever seen a picture of him?
No.
You ever seen a video? Nothing. So you don't even know who this guy... If you went in that room and he was sitting in the chair, you wouldn't be able to point him out?
Well, I'm assuming he's on the stage, so I tell whoever's on the stage to go himself.
Wow, that's wild. Well, you're very passionate, so that's good. All right, just keep it at 100. Don't attack anyone. Just please don't do political violence, please. Let's not take it there.
I won't if it doesn't get that far.
Thank you for talking to me. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. We will see you at the next one. Fleckus Talks.
If your platform is only based on opinion and you can't back up what you're saying, then it almost kind of means that what you're standing on is worthless.
You have some nasty ass on your hat, and I don't know what it is. And I've been wanting to ask what it is all day. But
I spilled eggs on my hat, but I have to wear it because if I don't wear it, my head looks like this.